Pentacles. This is Practical Prince. Today we're doing tarot time. So we'll be reading posts from off the internet and answering their questions. So we'll go ahead and start digging into ones we found today. So we've got, starting from the top down, this one by Josie Ward. Hi all, thanks so much for the kind ad. If anyone is drawn to me, please may I have a free love reading. Been single 5 years and would adore to know if I will be crossing paths with her, whomever she is, and clarity. Thank you for your time. All right, well, let's do what we can. So first, let's figure out which deck we're using. Where's my space? Yeah, I think we are using Destiny. So I'll give this a shuffle. Okay, just to make sure I've got it right. Will I be and clarity. So yes, no is the important bit, and then as many other details as we can find. So like timing. I'm just going to set those aside. Oh. I guess I can go ahead and set this aside. So this is typical for the yes-no spread that I've got, or at least that I've got a guide for. So we'll get a combination, and that'll give us the yes-no spectrum. Question is, do we have more info? This one on the left has extra info. It seems like that's all we've got to work with as far as clarity or details. So we've got Queen of Pentacles, the Hanged Man, and Death. I mean, this would say no, is the short of it. Yes, neutral, no. There's just not enough positivity to affirm that it is going to happen. So as far as interpreting Queen of Pentacles, it's probably moot at this point, but let's see what we can get. Because this is like the, well, among the minor cards, another archetype. And, gosh, how to put it? Because this will be frustrating, getting no for the answer. But the Queen of Pentacles is not at all bothered by that. It's like time and place, and it sounds like it might just not be this lifetime, this mortality. So, yeah, that's where we're at with this one. So that'll be interesting. But it is what it is. Oh, before I forget, um, we want to help these people. So let's grab our picture so we can give it to them. And now we're on to our second question. So backing out of here, going in. Desiree Dawn is asking if anyone is drawn to us. Our year didn't start off the greatest. One of my boys had an accident which put him in a coma for 9 days and hospitalized him for 2 months. We're still dealing with this in different ways. Does anyone see what our future looks like? Thank you in advance. So, looking at the future, can't remember if I shuffled this, but let's do a quick mix before finding our next thing. So, hoping for a spark of optimism. Looks like Postman. But we're focused on the truth, so if we've got bad news, we'll give it to him. Basically, any details about future. So that doesn't quite right. So these others. Let me check. Not sure I found it all. I'm not sure that all of these are super relevant. Yeah, so these two are going to be more relevant. This one, it's some fairly light detail. Just depending on how interesting these are, we might skip that. I mean, I'll flip it anyways, but that might be your own homework. So we've got Page of Pentacles and Ace of Pentacles, both promising beginnings, and prosperous ones too. So, I mean, that speaks to a positive future. Eight of Swords, and this is a lighter detail, it deals with self-imposed limitations, trapped in your own head in a sense, your own worst enemy. But if you're aware of that and work around it, it's not too big of a deal. And given how light the detail was, I imagine it's really not too much of an obstacle. So overall, future looks very promising. And I'll note, just because they did have medical stuff, a significant amount, these do come from the Pentacles suite, which is more earthly, worldly material, and is more associated with finances than the other ones. I didn't get a strong sense of finances, this was really just speaking to the future generally, but I thought it worth mentioning. So, let's get our picture so we can share the love. And let's get those mixed up. And I'm finally getting caught up on actually posting these, so I feel a little bad for some of the earlier episodes, but now that we've got a more manageable amount, we should be catching up. Okay. Let's take a look at our next question. Katina Bella. Anything you would like to comment, I will take in. Thank you. Do you see by chance a past love coming through, perhaps? So, general reading is what's being asked, although she does have a particular interest in a past love. Not that that's the focus, but that's an aspect she's a little more keenly interested in. So let's see what I get for this one. Is it printer there? Yeah. That's okay. I'll go ahead and shuffle even though we just did it again. But, what is in store? Thought there was something, but let me check. For whatever reason it's relevant, I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Tarot's not condoned or approved by any means, but in my practice, I'm communing with the Holy Ghost as far as putting this together. Just had to pause for a bit to get that out there. These more separate. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm not feeling any special weight to one or the other, so let's see. Okay, Nine of Wands. Speaks of approaching the finish line when you most need to dig deep. Grit. You might be tired, but the last hoorah, you gotta get it done. Two of Swords, most two speaks to decisions, but the Two of Swords speaks to needing to see clearly in order to choose correctly. So, yeah. pushing on is the important thing. As far as addressing the Two of Swords, it really is just doing your best to get all the facts, get the whole picture. I feel like that'll be terribly difficult, but maybe something you need to be more explicit about. So, hey, Ryan, I'm doing well. How are you? Let's grab this picture for them real quick. Huzzah! My wife is still chugging along, but it'll be wrapped up soon. Glad it's over. We've got one more minute, maybe. So let's go ahead and get over to that. This one's from Brianne Cutler. Hey, just wanted to ask a question in hopes I can get a true answer. Will I ever be in a romantic relationship again? Thanks so much for your time and energy. Pretty straightforward, yes, no. So, let's see what we get. Well, make sure you have some fun and celebrate. Unless you're resting from the celebration at this point. Oh, it's one of these two. Okay. Excellent. That was a phrase. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, and this is the last one that I had planned, so we can switch over to live readings once I'm done with this. That's fine. Sorry. That's going to be better. So so we've got our yes, no, which is really all they were asking, but we're also getting some detail. The question is how much? We're leaning most on this one. This also has some info. It's kind of a given since they bothered to temper it. This one's really just filling out the yes, no. So let's take a look. Guys, join. I have to double check that one real quick. We've got Three of Wands, tempered by Justice. And then over here, Two of Cups, all very positive. Yes, you'll be in a romantic relationship again. Three of Wands speaks to an adventure, is the short of it. The positive kind. Or at least that's the sense I'm getting from it. I guess I would get a heads up if it were a negative sort of adventure. This is tempered, it's modified, tweaked by Justice, which is rather karmic. In the other decks we've got, it is called karma. But it's sort of you reap what you sow. You put out into the universe and you get that stuff back. That sort of thing. So you might need to put yourself out there as far as helping this along. Because if you sow nothing, you reap nothing. I'm not sure how much you need to put yourself out there, and you can probably just tailor that to whatever you're comfortable with. As far as Joya, I have to double check because this is one of two bonus cards, so I'll make sure I don't mix them up. Okay, yeah. So this is similar to the Magician. This one's called, or well, summarized as the Master Manifester. You have the capacity, the capability, the resourcefulness to make what you want into a reality. To not purely will it, um, there is some effort physically, but you're very capable of making this come to pass. So, very positive. Speaking to not only yes, being in a romantic relationship at some point, but also your power in making that happen, and that you're not at the whims of fate. At least maybe perhaps not as much. Okay, Rada. We'll switch over to tarot time since we have audience. Go ahead and ask your question. Yes, let me do this. And I'll clean that up. Oh, and I should switch to talking to you. Now that we're done with the main portion of the segment, I guess. Yeah, it's interesting thinking in terms of like this being a show and the like type of content. Because we basically just switched to Q&A after our main message. Interesting. That's a couple of weeks almost. Okay. And that's not bad. Sometimes it's not the right fit. And it can sometimes be, it can put a damper on the other opportunities you could otherwise have sometimes. So. Okay. Repeatedly, I think. So let's see. Just make sure. I mean, really, the only sense I'm getting is that it is a pretty short time frame. So I don't know if this would have been different um, with a larger one. Okay, but this is fine, even for the short term. Pathfinder isn't so much about finding the path, but speaking to the ability to make one, um, being a trailblazer in a sense, as opposed to finding the well-trodden road, the well-trodden path. We can dig into that more if we need to. Karma, this would normally be justice, and this came up in the previous reading, but basically it's the reap what you sow principle. So as you're putting effort in, you're going to get more out. And especially when job hunting, um, as far as being done with the tarot reading, um, as far as that goes, the more you're putting yourself out there, the more opportunities that will reach back out, reach back to you. So that's natural. That's really nothing unexpected, but maybe a reminder about that. Oh, that's a good question. Let me check. What is that? That's probably cups, chalices. Let's see. Oh, no, so. Page of Pentacles. And the notes here are ambition, diligence, achiever. Just go ahead and mark that in this window. Any questions, Rhoda? Maybe a little more. All right. Sorry, Page of Pentacles. The artwork for them is fairly similar, with a fair amount of water and the lotus, which was their symbol in this one. But trees is the symbol of Pentacles. And I'll type it just for reference, but there it goes. Oh, I guess that doesn't go to Facebook. Interesting. Huh. Anyways. So yeah, Page of Pentacles is what that normally is. Okay. Well, if you did have them, you know how to reach out to me. I think I'll linger for a moment or two. Um, we do have the Friday session for more live readings. That's all we do. So you guys can feel free to look to that. Think of your questions if you have any that you want answered in this way, I guess. We can also just talk about them. It is a Talking Tarot segment on Friday. So Yeah. I can go ahead and clean up the cards. Okay. Didn't you ask a similar question last week, though? I mean, I don't mind doing readings, but asking about the same thing will get someone in trouble. So, just want to make sure that we aren't revisiting something that we've already looked into. And maybe that was earlier in the month. Okay. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. Who knows? Let me go ahead and put that one back. True. We haven't had you nearly as much as we used to. Cosmo was a close contender, but looks like we'll be doing close now. Let's see. Yeah, I guess I should keep the cards here. That might be the only thing we know. So let's check. Okay. Yeah. And it's not weak, but it's not super strong either. So, Queen of Chalices. I mean, normally this would deal with emotional stability, being able to roll with the punches, so to speak. As far as actions of your friend go, yeah, it it really is reactive. I'm not really seeing anything active towards you. Um, being aware of this, you might want to reach out, knowing they'll be able to take stuff well. But yeah, it doesn't look like they have an active action. Queen of Chalices, so Queen of Cups. So yeah, I guess I would say balls in your court. No problem. Pretty good. I know I got a job somewhat recently, but I think I'm going to have to start job hunting again. Just not getting a good level of fulfillment. So, and it wouldn't hurt to get more pay. Not too fond of my wife's student loans. She's studying to be a pharmacist, so med school, well, I guess it's not med school, pharmacy school is not all that friendly to one's purse. So, but other than that, things are pretty good. Need to lose weight, but that's a constant. At least I'm not gaining it in any significant amount, just a normal amount of fluctuation. So, yep. So yeah, I should probably start putting in some applications tonight, but I want to get caught up on tarot. And I've got my stuff set up, so if I'm ever going to be in the mood and have the time, it is now, and therefore it shall be done. So yeah, that's my update, I guess. Okay, you too. Sleep well. And to everyone else, thanks for tuning in. It's fun doing readings, and I'm happy to do readings for you. You can hit me up on social media, or we've got our regular session on Friday. Happy to answer your questions then, or we can just chat whenever. Have a great week, and until next time.